So for me, being a hairstylist as well as a trichologist, it's like the best of both worlds. You have, in a sense, just like having a nurse and a doctor. You know, the nurse is at the bedside, just like the hairstylist. I feel like I'm at the bedside. I'm behind the chair. I get a chance to see firsthand what exactly I'm looking over and now analyzing in that scalp. But then with trichology, just like the doctor, now I'm here to treat and heal and help you to discover what is the root cause of your issue. Um, so to me, that's how I would equate being a hairstylist as well as a trichologist at the same time. All right. So our next question is, which vitamins do you recommend and should they be based on my diet? So
Yeah.
I feel like a multivitamin is something that we're always used to, right? We started with Flintstone vitamins, you know, most of us. So I feel like a multivitamin still has a place in your life, right? But for me, I think if you're going to supplement with a supplement, you need to see first where you're deficient. Do you have an iron deficiency? Do you have a vitamin D deficiency? Do you have a selenium deficiency? You know, so that is really where you should supplement where you're lacking, right? But a multivitamin is a rounded situation, right? It gives you a little bit of this, a little bit of that, a little bit of this, a little bit of that. However, when taking these supplements, you need to also be mindful of when you take them, because there are certain nutrients that compete for absorption. So they tug a war with who's going to get there first, right? So you can't take those supplements together because then you're going to still be deficient in one or the other, or still both, right? So with a multivitamin, I like the vehicles that I like are liquid, you know, sublingual.
Okay.
Those are like the best to me because they're more easily absorbed into the body, right? However, again, right, say if you're someone who is on antihistamines like myself, I take antihistamines every day. My stomach acid is, and I learned this the hard way from taking antihistamines, it's reduced by the antihistamine. And I didn't realize that until I started to study this a little more as to how the stomach acid can be reduced from antihistamines. So I get full quick. I get bloating. So I don't eat as much. So with that, now it's almost like my body is being put into a malabsorption position because now I'm not getting all of my nutrients that I could get. So my body is under thriving. So now my body systems, like my hair system, my skin, even my sleep, right? That system is now thrown off because of the lack of nutrients that I'm giving myself just from not being able to eat everything. So taking like I said, a multivitamin is good, but I think a vehicle best used is liquid or sublingual to introduce that into the body. And any nutrient, I would say that is the best vehicle. But first, start with understanding where you're deficient first, and then supplement where you lack.
I agree with that totally. Actually, I agree with everything you said. I think it's really important for people to utilize the resource of medical practitioners. It's important for you to get a panel to figure out what vitamins you may be deficient in. And instead of, me recommending to any customer, take vitamin C, take vitamin E, take it. I can't give you that recommendation without you having a blood panel, without you understanding internally what your body is doing. And so that's what I recommend. But I agree with everything you said, though. Yeah.
So, reaching out, like you said, to the health practitioners, your PCP or your gynecologist or dermatologist,
yeah.
and get a blood panel done, get some testing done. So first, and do a mineral analysis too, to really get a chance to see where exactly you're deficient at.
Correct.
And that is where you supplement at.
Correct.
So that's how I would also suggest moving forward with supplements.
Yeah.
All right. So we covered supplements and diet and how important they are. Our next question on the clipboard is, how do I facilitate growth and improve thickness in my hair?
I'll let you go.
Well, let's first start at, why do you think your hair is thin or lack thickness, right? My questions are, especially like if you're someone I may be just meeting for the first time, or again, if someone's coming to me for trichology, or whether they're coming to me for hairstyling and they want this full, voluminous hair. Is your hair always this thin, right? Show me some photos. Let me see what you look like last year. Let me see what you look like 5 years ago. Let me see what you look like 10 years ago.
Okay.
Because then that's going to help me, and it's going to give me a better track on what actually, how you, what's the word I'm looking for?
I don't know.
Evolve.
Oh, okay.
This is evolution, right? So, was there a decrease in density? Because that's what thickness is. We're talking about density. Was there a decrease in density in your hair over time? All right. So once I see that with my visual eye, because then I'll be able to say like whether you're right or wrong. Okay. Because a lot of people have this image or this vision of what they think of themselves, right?
That's so true.
But
that's true. Yeah.
When you look at a photograph, it's going to tell you exactly. It reflects exactly what it sees.
Yeah.
So for me, that's going to give me a base, right? So once I see that, and if I determine like, oh, okay, yeah, I do see that your hair has, thinned out, right? Now I have more questions. Were you sick? Were any high fevers, any viruses, any surgeries, right? Because surgery, anesthesia can, result in hair loss, right? Did you have a baby anytime? Or are you on any medications? Did you start a new medication? Did you change your dosage in your medications? So now I have a whole litany of questions that I'm going to ask you before I actually get to that answer that question, because it's never that simple. Like I used to always tell my clients, it's more than one thing that contributed to this situation.
And I think that's so great that that ought to be like what do they call it? Like a punchline.
Right.
It's never that simple. All of these things need to be addressed in order to successfully diagnose what we're looking at and to offer the best treatment that we can do. That was really, really great.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, truly. Really great.
Do you have anything to add to that?
Yep, I agree with everything, yeah.
Okay. So, I guess if I were to offer you an answer, right, it would be consistency. Consistency is the key.
Okay.
So, how consistently are you maintaining your hair? What maintenance practice do you have already? Or do we need to offer you some maintenance practices, suggest some maintenance practices? So I would definitely say you are the way to facilitate hair growth and thickness. How consistent are you, and what practices are you consistent with? Okay. So that's how I would really offer an answer to that question, because I don't really feel like there's going to be one answer, and we're going to have to go through this process, especially with me. I need to get to know you, your hair, your practices, your character, all of that, or you do have commitment issues, maybe that's why you got that hair, so it's just like, those are the things for me that I would have to go through.
I agree with it. It's never that simple, and let's work together to be able to create a plan for you, and the only way to do that is, of course, with commitment and consistency, but I can't address why the hair is like thinner now. I need to be able to see the whole picture in order to assess what it is that I'm looking at. So I agree with that.
And I think to end this question is, like you said, work together.
Because that's what it is. It's a working relationship. We're working together.
It's a relationship.
Yeah, it's a relationship. I agree.
So let us through this relationship.
Yeah.
You know, this is give and take.
Mm-hmm.
You know, not everything is on me. It's not all on you.
I
We're
agree
going to
with
work
that.
together, and then we'll arrive.
I agree with that.
What will be best for you as an individual.
I agree with that. Yeah.
All right. So that was number 4. Number 5. Okay. Which is, I think, these are good follow-ups, you know. Is there a time that is considered too late to seek treatment for hair loss?
Never. Never,
okay,
ever.
So your answer is never.
There's never
never
time.
Okay. So there's never
You come
time.
on. Anytime you feel like you need, you come on.
Right.
To a professional.
Right.
To have the professional examine you and examine your hair and learn about you.
Right.
It's never too late. No. Never too late. Never.
Keep hope alive.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay.
What do you think about that?
I agree.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
yeah.
I do agree. It's never too late. You know, as long as you still have breath in your body and that thought came across your mind.
There you go.
Ask for help.
Yeah, that's
help,
it.
Right?
That's it.
However, I would put a spin on that. There are certain hair loss conditions that are contingent on time. So there's a certain hair loss that is suffered, I'll say, by, we know, a lot of men, right? In this country or in the world. We'll just say in the world. It's called genetic hair loss or androgenetic alopecia, right? And it characterizes itself, you know, with recession of the hairline and vortex crown, you know, balding, right? That is a progressive hair loss, meaning that is on a time schedule. So, in the early stages of that, which is sometimes missed because it doesn't always present itself so, you know, quickly. It's not like, boom, here I go, right? Sometimes, boom, here I go, it's like 5 years later, 7 years later, right? But from year 1, let's say to year 10, all the years behind 10, that hair loss may be permanent now because you waited so long to seek treatment. Now, we may be able to stop it and hold it in its tracks at year 10 so that it doesn't progress any further, but there's no real guarantee that you will regain the past 10 years.
Well, yeah, we're not talking about regaining, though, Tim.
Right.
We talk about, you know, is it too
seeking
late?
treatment.
Get it. I want y'all to come on in.
Right. I get it.
Yeah.
So I'm not saying, right, there's never too late, right? It's never too late. But I do want to leave you with that caveat.
I like it, though.
I want to leave you with that because you need to know.
No false hope.
No, you know what I mean? There's no guarantee. But you need to understand that there is a certain time frame on certain hair loss conditions that early detection and treatment is best.
And preventative maintenance.
Yes.
So agree. I agree with that, yeah.